Good evening. Welcome to the Power Hour. I am Steve, along with the legend, the icon, the urban sensation known as C Red. Hello, C Red.
What's going on?
Uh, Cactus Rack will be joining us later. Maybe Rian will join us. We never quite know. Although there are some stories about Rian that he will probably be mad that I discuss, but if you're not here to defend yourself, so be it. Our guest tonight, Pauly Thomaselli, will be joining us on the second half of the program. So, in about an hour or so, we will get to visit with our good friend Pauly, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about with Pauly. He's getting married soon. He's doing great in the business. He looks fantastic. He's in fighting shape. So I look forward to hearing all about what's going on in the life of our good friend, Mr. Thomaselli. Before that, though, we've got some things to talk about that happened this weekend and some things that are upcoming. So, Red, where do you want to start?
Doesn't matter.
So, last Friday, we talked a little bit about it on Tuesday with Billy Whack. First of all, before we get to that, I did not get a chance to see the Super Wrestlers. It was Father's Day. It's a tricky day for me. I don't know what's planned. I don't know if they have anything in store for me. Plus, I wasn't feeling all that great Sunday, so I did not get a chance to see Super Wrestlers, but I have seen some footage and I have seen some pictures. Apparently, the Super Wrestlers have a pharaoh and a queen now. So I don't know
Oh,
what that all means. And I saw Business Puppy and Vlad Bladder, the teenage werewolf, squaring off. Plus, I saw uh, Christian Sugarsmith uh, beating up uh, Hot Kazooie. Now, I want you to picture that in your head. Christian Sugarsmith, the heir to the candy empire, taking on the giant orange and red and yellow wonder known as the Hot Kazooie, and beating him with some kind of candy stick. Can you picture that in your mind?
I can and then I can't.
I can, and then I won't because that's crazy. He must have some sort of magical sugar powers to overcome someone as sizable as the Hot Kazooie. Because right now, the Hot Kazooie is one of my favorite entities in the Super Wrestler universe. And the fact that, although it did look like that they were in some kind of battle royal, and it looks like the Hot Kazooie eliminated Chris Sugarsmith at some point. So the Super Wrestlers, the crowd looked hot as you knew it would be. How do you draw like that on Father's Day? A day where people are, hanging out with family, and you've got this.
Are they?
It's just it's amazing the power of the super wrestlers. We always thank Billy Whack for joining us and giving us tidbits and keeping us informed, and we'll talk with him again, I believe in September when the next installment of Super Wrestlers are coming. So looked like a great show. I've heard from people that say it was magic. uh Sean Lennon, the podcaster, said it was an amazing time, and he goes to wrestling events everywhere. So if Sean had a good time, you know it was good. And we've been there, Red. We know it's good.
Yeah.
Although sometimes you have to babysit. And then you get drawn into the back with all the people, and we just have to sit there and hold your beverage because you're more famous than us.
Not really. Wish.
You sing that song, They Not Like Us, when you're all superstarred and celebrityed.
No.
Anyway, congratulations to all the Super Wrestlers team for doing it once again. That's 8 home runs in a row for Billy Whack and the crew. So our applause.
No, that's nine.
Oh, that's right, that's 9. So that's 9 in a row, and now we come up on the vaunted episode 10. Kind of feel like we have to go to that one, Red. I kind of feel like I gotta pick you up on the way and we go together.
We'll see. September's a long way off.
It is a long way off, but the ticket's on me if you want to go. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So you see, I'm rocking some Jim McMahon-esque headwear this evening. Yes,
Yeah, but with a purpose.
with a purpose. I know I do many things that make myself look stupid, but this isn't one of those times. I don't think this is out of respect. Friday night, June the 13th, in Lake Station, Indiana, ARW Pro had their final chapter event that celebrated some pretty big tributes to Ivan Manson. Uh, Very emotional night, Red. Emotions were running high. Lots of tears, lots of laughter, lots of hugging. Uh, you could see a community healing. You never get over a loss like this, and you don't even try. But to see everybody come together and people said nice things. Charlie Jr. had a beautiful presentation in the ring. You had all of his groups. Uh, you had the family, the brotherhood, the AMA. Everybody got in that ring. Saw Jay Cross. Haven't seen Jay Cross in a minute. Made me think we got to get Jay Cross back on this show. Uh, Very cool the way they did it. You would expect no less from Braun the Lumberjack and Joey Boom Boom as far as making this thing top shelf. There was memorabilia. There was an in ring tribute, the 10 bell salute. Uh, Powerful stuff, man. Powerful stuff. It's my first night at ARW. My first night, the first time I've ever seen the show in Lake Station. And this is what it was. So uh boy, it was really everybody's wearing these bands, which I'm wearing as a headband right now, but these are conventionally armbands, and it's so tight on my head right now that I may actually pass out at some point. So Red, you're gonna have to carry the show if I pass out because I'm wearing this headband. Um, and there was a level of energy and magic in the air um this whole night. Some things happened, and there was just a different kind of vibe in that building. You could almost feel like he was there and he was watching and he was having a good time. uh One of the moments that kind of stole it for me had nothing to do with the show. At the American Legion, there's a drinking establishment in the back, as with most American Legions. So everybody was there relaxing after the show was over, having a beverage. Uh, some people were dancing. It was a splendid affair. And then all of a sudden, and I shit you not, somebody dropped a dime in the jukebox or a quarter or a dollar or a credit or whatever you want, whatever people are dropping in jukeboxes these days. And Can You Feel It played. And that room, now there are probably 70 people in that room. That room stopped, simultaneously looked at the door, and we're looking for Rion. And everyone's like, "Where's Rion? Where's Rion?" Rion must have been out in the arena area, comes in through the door in typical Rion fashion. One, two, three. That place, it was like Joliet at Kicks on 66, clapping, dancing, sticking the fingers in the air. Max Holiday taking videos of the entire thing. He can't deny it anymore. He can't deny it. I've seen it too many times. And this had no planning. This was completely spontaneous. The love for Rion in Lake Station is a real thing. And it was pretty incredible moment. Um, the whole show was pretty spectacular. Um, you know what the first match of the night was? The kickoff match. On a night like this where you just you have a 10 bell salute and you have a tribute in the ring to Ivan, and then you have to go into a wrestling match. You don't want to be the people in that match. Am I right, Red?
Nah,
Because how are you going to lift that room up? What was the hardest uh opening you've ever had to do or you've ever seen as far as a crowd being one way and trying to transform it into something else?
the night we were in Philly and we had to go on after We did the 10 bell for Larry Sweeney. Um, that was again, that was Larry's home. Um, most of those guys, they're on TV now. Orange Cassidy, Eddie Kingston, Claudio, you know, uh, so again, for me, it's always a personal story because we had just did a show. Matter of fact, he had came out for Jazz. IWA Mid South did a benefit for Jazz, which was called a benefit for Jazz. Um, and he didn't have to come out and donate his time, but he did. So to find out that was what, like a Sunday, and then we find out Friday he had passed, and then to turn around and fly out the next week after was like, what the hell? Hold on. Like, you know, uh, I tell everybody, Mike Quackenbush, uh, when he gives you a speech, he gives you a speech. But the building was different. We had been there before. Building and the vibe was different, you know, and he could make it through his speech. And it was like how, you know, we go out, we do this tribute, video plays, his sunglasses are left in the rain. And it's like, how the fuck do we go on? I don't think we were the first that night. I pray to God I don't think we were the first. Um, but it was hard. But like you said, there's this energy. Um, like you feel like that person is watching over you that night. And all you want to do is make sure that they feel the love and everything that they gave you in that brief moment, you can kind of give it back to them. So I'm sure for everybody that uh, was there because of Chad, it was, you know, it was something that they didn't want to do, but they knew, if it was somebody else and Chad was here, you know, you know, he'd be emotional, he'd be choked up, and then all right, brother, let's go fucking out here and rip it up. Okay, well, let's do it. All right. So
So when you're that match following a tribute and a 10 bell, you have the responsibility to take the people away from the hurt and the pain and give them something else to think about, like a great wrestling match. And that's a lot of responsibility. And, we've talked here many times about how the opening, show on a card is important because it kind of sets the level, sets the energy, it sets the mood. Well, the mood was set with the 10 bell salute and all of his friends in the ring hugging and crying. And, it was very moving. I mean, these are, the members of the Brotherhood, man. These people are tough as nails. People in the family, tough. These are tough guys and gals. Cheeks. Is there a tougher woman in wrestling than Cheeks? You have to show me who it is. Um, but they're all emotional, and you don't see Braun the lumberjack break down very often because he just doesn't. But everybody, was speaking and had the frog and the lump in their throat and had to pause. So, and the crowd is openly sobbing, and because he was such a character in that arena, in that building for that promotion, that you're taking a big part of it away. Imagine taking Cody Rhodes away from WWE suddenly like that with a death or something. It would be hard to get over that stuff. You remember when people passed on Monday Night Raw and they come out, for that, and people are crying and they're sad, like when Eddie passed. That was terrible. That was hard to watch. Because here are your heroes being very human. And that's what was happening. So, in order to get people back into a wrestling mode, because the show was a stacked card. There's a lot happening at this show. They needed two people to get in that ring and make some magic. And boy, whoever put this card together chose the right two men, because the opening match could have been the main event in every other arena in Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, all across the Midwest, because you had two big championship superstars, putting it on the line in the form of James Creed and Shaq Jordan. That's your fucking opener. And I'll tell you what, give those two all the fucking credit in the world, because they turned that crowd right around and got them excited about this wrestling show after they had their guts and hearts pulled out and were all over the floor. Still say Shaq Jordan is one of the greatest I've ever seen. What he was doing in that match defied the laws of gravity and physics combined. And evil James Creed is a prick, but in all the right ways. He's got this infinity. He's always and forever. He's fucking Heatwave, Rev. He's stealing your song. And he makes this stupid fucking infinity symbol with his fingers. So he's holding it up, and I'm like, what is he? Is he gonna put on an Afalava next? Is he gonna be the tribal chief? So I don't know what the fuck. I remember James Creed as the superhero at SCW. I don't know who the fuck the guy was I watched on Friday, and I just shit all over him on commentary. You know how I do. I don't hold it back. I think I was making some people upset because I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is happening here? But what a match to put people back into a wrestling frame of mind. So you give James Creed and you give Shaq Jordan all the credit in the world for getting the show on track and making people care about it. And I got to see people I've never seen before. Brendan Balling and Super CMOS Dave had a #1 contenders match. The winner gets a shot at the title. And I have never seen either of these two work. And they were fantastic. CMOS Dave is a fucking monster human. He reminds me a little bit of a larger version of Garrison Creed. And you know what Garrison Creed does.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Garrison Creed ain't no small person. So.
No, but this guy's bigger and mean. And then Brendan Balling, little red-haired kid, fucking flies out of his shoes. And Brendan Balling with the win. And you know something to see, Red? At ARW, managers are a thing. There are managers everywhere, man. But they're all elderly white managers, and there are a couple of women managers. So I think, I know Uncle Drip is there. I feel like they need a little more color, Red.
They never called.
I feel like we need to see Red in Lake Station.
They never called.
Because there are a couple of young lions out there that I think you could do some good things with, called the Cole Twins. But we'll talk about the Cole Twins in a minute. So CMOS Dave, Brendan Balling, #1 contenders. The manager kind of cost him the match. I forget the names of the managers. I should have written it down, but I'm not that smart. But boy, what a great second match. Just ARW had it all going. Had it all going on Friday night. It was hot from the start, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. Our old friends, the Bro Bros, took on these guys that I've never seen before, the Cole Twins. The Cole Twins are straight out of the 80s. I mean, you think back to the tag teams like the Fabulous Ones and the Rougeaus and the Rockers. These guys are all that, and they're so good. And they look identical. It's like watching Nelson the rock band if they were wrestlers. So it was very interesting, very exciting. And I believe the Cole twins won that match, disappointing fans of the Bro Bros. Another match that happened on Friday was a loser leaves the company match. It started off as Judas was supposed to leave if he lost, but then President Dave Allen. Now, have you ever met this Dave Allen character? Seems
Of
like somebody.
course,
He seems like somebody that you would know.
I've worked with Dave many a time.
Kind of a prick. Kind of a prick general manager, man. Or not even. He's president. He fucking owns the shit. But he stole it from Joey Boo Boom and his son Judas Chavez. So the match was Isaac Slate versus Judas Chavez, and if Judas loses, he's out. But then Pride happened, and they decided to make Isaac Slate's future at ARW be on the line too. And much to the delight of the audience, Judas Chavez won the match, defeating Isaac Slate. So Isaac's gone, Chavez stays, and he got Dave Allen so worked up. He challenged Dave Allen to a match at their July 12th show, and the winner gets control of ARW. So the Chavez family trying to take their company back. I can't believe Dave Allen was goaded into this match. It's like you Windy City guys are supposed to be fucking smart. And he got goaded right into that shit.
Dave Allen isn't a Windy City guy.
Oh, he's not a Windy City. Boy, he sure looked like a he was like a Windy City guy. Where did Dave Allen come from?
Uh, he
Elite?
no, Dave Allen worked mostly Indiana. I think
Oh, okay.
he's one of ARW's like homegrown talent. Like he's been with ARW, if I'm correct, since its inception.
See, that's the problem when you go to work for a promotion in the middle of everything. It takes you a little time to learn the history. So I'll have to work on that a little bit. But it's just another boss that I don't get along with. So maybe my tenure at ARW was only one night after they hear this. But I had a good time doing commentary with Josh and Jay City. I got to see and call another match for one of the baddest men on the planet in Greg Glover. That dude is still every bit as good as I remember.
Why wouldn't he be?
Well, I haven't seen him in years. It's been since like 2016, 17. That was the last time I saw Greg Glover work. That's like 8 years ago, bro. Tell me how you really feel, Red. Uh Greg Glover fought Josh Moon, and it was the main event of the night. And it was such a great match to cap off everything. Uh, you know, Glover is a very, very big fan favorite, and Josh Moon not so much. Uh, kind of hangs out with some of the nefarious managers, is this Josh Moon. And I'd never seen him work before. And he was extraordinary. But Greg Glover was a little bit better and retained the title. Um, when I look at ARW as a whole, when I sit back and I think about what happened, and I got one more thing to tell you. They remind me a lot of some of the other companies that I work for in the way that they've got a really nice complement of veterans, but they've got these young, talented new guys that are electric. And it just that's a really nice problem to have, you know?
True.
So you got to keep an eye on ARW. It's a pretty good place. So the situation occurred where Quinn Whittick and Jay Cross come out as members of their faction. They fought in a match, and they do what they do. They kill everybody in a 5 block radius, and they call out the family. And you've got Mike Morris, and you've got all of them. Charlie Jr. comes out. All the family members in the building come out, and they are talking about having a truce. Muggsy James was in there, and Muggsy kind of like Ivan's pupil. That's Ivan Manson's guy. So the legacy of Muggsy James is to carry the spirit of the Mad Dog with him wherever he goes. And you know how we feel about Muggsy on this program. Dude is up to this challenge. And I think this will make him even better than he already is. And you know that Quinn Whittick and Muggsy run around the block many, many times, right? So the family's in the ring. Quinn
AFA.
and AFA, Quinn and Cross are in there, and the girl that is part of AFA is in there as well. See, I don't remember some of the names because these are the first time I've met them, and I'm old and I don't retain things very well. So they're extending the olive branch, and they said, let's combine our forces and become one big group. And it seemed like everything was agreed. The crowd was excited, ecstatic. You're seeing the comment. It would be like the Avengers and the Justice League coming together. Something you never thought you'd see, right?
Right.
And then Quinn pauses and says, Ivan would kill me if I didn't do this. So not only does he challenge Muggsy to a match on July 12th at their big summer show, proceeds to punch Muggsy James right in the face. And then all hell, and I do mean all hell broke loose. There must have been 60 people in that ring trying to pull Muggsy and Quinn Whittick apart. It was frightening. You remember we've been a part of some pretty interesting pull aparts of late. This was fucked up. I mean, Jay Cross, you have to be crazy to want to get in Jay Cross's face and do a fucking thing because that guy is a stone cold fucking assassin. But here we are. They're in his face, and all of a sudden people start flying around and bodies start moving and hell in a handcart. So now the crowd is like, what the fuck? And then the main event happens. So ARW took this from being a memorial type show to being one of the great wrestling shows that I've ever seen. Every story nailed it. Every moment hit and had resonated with everybody in the building. And I'm sitting back after it's over, collecting my thoughts, and I'm listening to the fans talk about what they just saw. More than 15 people in my area said, my God, Ivan would have loved this. And I truly believe Ivan would have loved it. It was everything it needed to be, but so much more than that. So if that was my one off, if that was my one ARW opportunity, couldn't have been better for me. I haven't heard any feedback to any great degree about how my commentary was perceived. But you know me, Red, you know how I do it. So, it's not like I was playing a different character. I was just playing me. Uh so we'll see if I ever get to go back again, but uh I would really like to badmouth Dave Allen a lot more. There are a few other villains that I would like. I'd really like to go in on James Creed a little bit. So if ARW wants a problem on commentary, just call me up, man. I'll be your problem. Like Whitney Houston, I'll be your problem tonight. But that was ARW, and it was special. I was going to use this time to talk about the roller derby, but Cactus is not here at this point. So I am going to bottle that, and we are going to shift into what's coming up. And we will start with one of your favorite things in the world, Red. This Saturday at the Underpass, up in I don't know what town. It's kind of by Franklin Park, I guess. It's on Grand Avenue, so it's Sugar Grove, Franklin Park. It's up in, it's not too far away from where we usually are, although I don't know the town. Uh, Chicago Style Wrestling is having an outdoor matinee. Bell time at 3 o'clock. You know what the temperature is supposed to be at 3 o'clock on Sunday, on Saturday?
No,
97 degrees, man.
have fun with that.
Who's wearing a suit, man?
Have fun with that.
I might die, man. This might be the one. Elizabeth, I might be coming to join you. But I call it a Bozathon because CSW Academy Upstart is this is the June show. This is the second anniversary of it. And it's Steve Boz's birthday. So CSW comes out. Happy birthday, Boz. Here's your show. One of the matches on the card is the CSW heavyweight champion is making an appearance at this outdoor matinee show, and that would be All Day Marche Rocket. And he's taking on uh, Adam Stallion.
Yeah,
Who,
that got changed.
huh?
That got changed.
Yes, card subject change. Axel Rico was originally slotted in that spot, but there are some things. So Adam Stallion is tapped next. Adam Stallion just went through a metamorphosis after turning on Cypher. So this is a very intriguing match. Is Marche trying out another guy to make him a made man? Is Stallion the next of the made men? I guess we'll have to find out, but it's coming this Saturday. The return to CSW of the bombshell, Shelly Benson, who bore some resemblance to a queen at Super Wrestlers on Sunday, comes out to CSW again after being gone for a while, and she is taking on Davina Thorne in a match. Davina Young, I'm not terribly familiar with her, but I have heard good things, and we all know Shelly. So that should be a pretty cool match. Looking forward to that. Have they announced anything else? Let's find out. I wish I had more information about this, but I only have what the interweb tells me. And I'm the general manager, right? I should know all about this. So you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go out there and shit all over everybody on the as public address announcer. Why don't I get to know all these things?
I don't know.
You want to come out with me, Red? Put your red suit on in the blistering heat of summer and come hang out.
No, I'm straight. I don't do heat.
I am not sure who Boz is fighting, but we got a great a great amount of people on the card. Looks like Doug Simmons is going to be in attendance. Chris Miller, Hans Carden, KJ Carter, Lizard Man. Looks like we've got Jack Valor. Looks like the Juice is going to be on the loose. FXB, Haven Harris, Dew Montgomery, Lucia is going to be there. So, all the usual suspects. So, again, as we were talking about with ARW, it's a youth movement. And the people that you're going to see, in addition to the people are the people that are going to keep CSW going, for the next decade. You know what I mean? It's that influx of homegrown talent. And Red, you've been around long enough to know that, it's great to have a roster full of veterans, but when you get these young lightning in a bottle kids that are really good, that you've trained, that they're homegrown, I mean, that just makes you better, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think the crazy part was I saw the card and don't know what I did with it. I mean, you need, as they say, the young people to keep you young. So keep you on your toes. Uh so and I mean, um, as we can see, unfortunately, we don't live forever. So we have to pass this on to the next generation. So uh, as long as they're good, when they shitty, set them down.
Yeah, that's the thing about the CSW guys. They get better each and every time. I mean, they start off in the Futures Royal, but a great many of them have already graduated up to the card. You've got Valor and Grayson are moving up the tag team ranks. Same thing with Machine 17. Haven Harris has been involved in the women's division now for a while, and she's doing great things. Dew Montgomery is probably set to get a title shot at some point. And these are all, like I said, Axel Rico was one of these people not so long ago. And look, sky's the limit for him everywhere he goes. So trust the process and do the work at CSW, and you will find a way not only to the main card, but opportunities all over the place. And look at the pedigrees, Marche Rocket, Steve Boz, Doug Simmons. I mean, are there better teachers than that out there?
Yeah.
You're such a bitter prick.
I know, right? I mean, hey, I wouldn't be me if I didn't. I mean, but Boz was my teacher, so I mean,
I mean,
so
he did all right. I mean, you're still wrestling at 50.
well past 50, but yeah, I
Still
mean,
wrestling, not taking any
I'm not,
time off. Just keep going.
I'm not, but I mean, I can hold my own.
Remember that word we don't like to use?
I use sabbatical.
Yeah, that's not a can't use that word no more.
Yeah, I can.
Cannot, cannot use that word.
Tell me when you'll see Red in the ring again.
I'm
Oh,
sure it'll be
right.
soon. Sure it'll be soon.
Nah,
Somewhere, someone's gonna call you up. Billy, maybe BC calls you up.
Billy ain't calling me to wrestle.
Red, it's a
He'll
good thing.
probably call me to
I
to
need
pass out popcorn.
I need you.
To do what? Pass out popcorn, take tickets?
No, you're Steve Red, man. You don't pass out popcorn. You're not a hot dog and a handshake guy. You're legit, always have been. All right. So I told you Rion's story number one. Now I'm going to tell you Rion's story number two. And we're going to talk a little bit about the chaos that happened Saturday night at the HF Auditorium. Uh, before I do that, we've got another finale at the Homewood Auditorium happening this Saturday as well, as Wrestle League makes its final appearance at the HF Auditorium. And the match, I'm going to need to take my glasses off so I can read this. Number one contenders match for the Wrestle League champion, and that's Humek, who we saw at Rocket Pro. A couple of the names that are going to be here at the Last Dance. You've got Steve Michaels, Rocket Pro champion. You've got Parker Boudreaux of WWE and AEW fame. I think they're fighting in a number
They
one
are number
contender
one.
match to face Humek.
And I think I might be wrong. QMAC might be the special referee.
Yes, that is 100% confirmed. We also have Maya Carras taking on a mystery guest. We have Jesus DeSafio and Alfredo Melez. We've got No Privilege versus Maurice and Jay Vanity for the Wrestle League tag team titles. In a triple threat, Drew Bronson versus Tully versus Muggsy James. And
For the
then we got
UHC championship.
what now?
They're wrestling for the UHC championship.
Yes, UHC, made famous by one Ewok.
Yes.
I really thought that title got steam when Ewok was the champ. I miss that guy. Haven't seen him in the buildings in a while. Ewok, we love you. And then in a tag team match, you've got Disco Ray and Seneca Sunshine taking on J.R. Lindsay and Brittany Kay. So that's quite a card. Steve Michaels doing what he says he does is touring around with that belt, doing big things with it. I'm sure the Rocket Pro family will be in attendance. I will be on my way back from Academy Upstart. So depending on my fatigue and hydration level, I might try to swing in there and catch some of it to support Wrestle League in their final show. So that's what's happening this Saturday night. It's the very last show ever. Where's the bell time? Doors open
Thank
at 6, bell time is at 7. So we start at 3. Uh we might be ending when the doors open, so I might be a little late, but boy, Parker Boudreaux versus Michaels, man, that might be a match I want to see. What say you?
uh sad that it's the last show at the auditorium.
Yeah,
Um,
Homewood has made some egregious moves of late, which is why I am contemplating running for mayor of this town. Don't laugh. That's real.
I'll believe it when I see a
I
poster with
would
your
be I
face on
would be a great mayor. I would be a better mayor than Goldie Wilson.
it. I don't know who that is, so
You remember Goldie Wilson?
uh-uh.
A young soda clerk that is influenced by Marty McFly to run for
Oh,
mayor?
oh. As long as you better than Tiffany Haddish, we good.
Well, I don't know if anybody's better than Tiffany Haddish.
Not
Tiffany Haddish, the comedian.
no,
There's another
whatever,
Tiffany.
whatever. Yes, that was the mayor of Dalton.
Oh, what happened to her?
Where the fuck you been for the past 2 years?
I don't know.
Oh shit. We ain't got enough time to cover her bullshit.
What's going on in Dalton? I can't run for mayor of Homewood and Dalton.
She's no longer the mayor, thank God.
Oh, what
Uh,
happened to her? She busted for uh
no, she got kicked the fuck out. But
doing
I
bad things.
mean, dude, I mean everything from sex scandals to um, pay to play, even though she denies it, to spending taxpayer. That's what I think pissed off a lot of people. Her spending taxpayers' money on bullshit. I'm surprised you did not hear this.
No,
And I
I
could
it's, but see, sex scandals. I'm too old for them. Uh, I'm not good with money, so I have to hire.
Tiffany Hinyard, my bad. Tiffany Hinyard, my bad. I knew it was a H. That's slut.
That's why
Uh,
you had me thinking about the comedian. I'm like, the hell did she? What did she run for mayor of anything?
uh, dude, and then it got so bad the board had a independent audit. Lori Lightfoot did the audit, former mayor of Chicago,
Ugh.
found out like in one day she spent a ton of money on Amazon. It was Amazon and I want to say Wish, but I could be wrong.
If you're
But one of
trying to,
those other stuff. But
if
I
you
mean, it
are
was
a politician and you are trying to augment your income illegally, making large purchases at Amazon is probably the worst thing you could do.
oh, dude. And then I mean, like I said, and that was just the constant. And so she was also the supervisor of Thornton Township. So I don't know
Man,
if
this
you
sounds
guys are part.
almost as bad as the shit that's happening in our town.
So
But
I don't
that's
know if you guys are a part of the township or not.
I am not
Um,
sure, but I will find that out as I am running for mayor. My platform is couldn't be any worse.
that's true.
I'm going to go in there with the right attitude. Let's make this town magic again. I lived here a long time, brother. Went to the schools here, worked here, have a family here. It's no good, man. They don't care about their people anymore. They pretend like they do, but they don't. And I think that needs to change because you wouldn't have a job without the people, right?
That's
Like
true.
us in wrestling. If nobody showed up, the fuck would we be doing in there, right?
Looking at each other.
That's right. You got to represent the people. And speaking of representing the people, um, Red, some things happened Saturday night, Red.
So is this going into the second story?
This is going into the second Rion story. Some things happened, Red. I don't know how much I can say because there's a what happens at the auditorium stays at the auditorium decree. So I can't elaborate a ton. But I don't think I have ever used the F bomb as much on commentary. We really don't use the F bomb on commentary, but after Saturday night, I kind of wish we would because it just flows so naturally when shit gets crazy. And that's all. The
Oh, in other words, I'm rubbing off on you. Okay.
shit got crazy. Team Spicy beat Team Sweet to win the final bout for the rec league at the HF Auditorium. But whoa, it took a long road to get us there. The periods are normally 30 minutes. So there's a 30-minute first half, 30-minute second half, about 10 minutes for halftime. Because it was the last hurrah, they extended the periods to 40 minutes. So there's 10 extra minutes of chaos. And boy, did they pack a lot of extra chaos into those extra minutes. Rion Skills, as you know, is a fight ref. And there were other fight refs on hand. One of the Bro Bros was a fight ref. Turtle and Sean Danger were on hand and involved. They were doing security. And
John Danger?
Sean Danger.
Okay.
So there was quite the cast of characters.
I mean, was he securing the beer? I mean, I'm just
No, Rabid Brewing secures their own beer. So at one point, now obviously, the characters are different. They have some very colorful names. Uh, probably aren't in great taste to say them here, but I will. Um, at one point in the bout, uh, there was some shenanigans and some time in the penalty box for a skater known as Cunt Dracula. Guess what her gimmick was? I'm gonna let the
I'm
mind
assuming the
wander.
vac
I'm gonna let the mind wander a little bit. And then
vampire.
there was a sweet skater named Strawberries and Cream, which is our beloved Grumpy Bear. That was her sweet character. So there was a moment where there was a strange love thing happening, I think, where they were making eyes at each other. I think there was going to be a romantic interlude, perhaps.
In the
And
penalty box?
in the penalty box. I'd like to say get a room, but they got a box. And all of a sudden, just as things started to get, well, I'm going
Heated.
to leave it at that. Just as things started to heat up, Rion Skills comes flying from out of nowhere to break it up and pushes Strawberries and Cream away. And that really agitated Cunt Dracula a lot. So what did she do?
She bit him.
Bit that bastard. Bit him hard. Made Rion bleed. There was blood everywhere. She had blood on her fangs. He had blood all over his shirt and a bite mark.
Wow.
And I haven't seen Rion in a couple of days. So maybe the reason why Rion is not here tonight is because he's sleeping because he's turning into a vampire. And speaking of turning into a vampire, it's our guest for the evening, Pauly Thomaselli.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
You're like, what the fuck was that segue?
I
It was
came
the
in.
best.
I came in a little weird, to a weird part of the story, didn't I?
Well, at roller derby Saturday night, Rion Skills got bit by a vampire, and we haven't seen him since. So we don't know if maybe he's not here tonight because he's just waking up and about to go on the prowl for blood.
Oh, who's on the prowl or something?
Well, that's neither here nor there. So we'll finish roller derby tales when Cactus joins us a little bit later on. But right now we welcome Pauly Thomaselli. The nuptials are coming.
Yeah, they are.
We're like right there. We're in the end game.
We are in the final. We're under 90 days at this point, so
So
it's crazy.
talk to us. Tell us about this. Give us all the dish.
I mean, what do you want to know? We have.
Well, you're in the best physical shape you've been in 10 years.
I really have been. Yeah.
You
That's,
look your pictures from the gym. You are in fighting weight to get married. I don't know how much fighting you need to be doing.
we're not doing any fighting. That's the crazy thing about it. Believe it or not, we're both really like-minded as it is. Shut your face hole right now. That's the new puppy. She's an asshole. I love her. She's an asshole. If you don't pay enough attention to her, she barks at you.
That
And my wonderful fiance said she wanted me to do the podcast in the living room tonight instead of in my little nook in my bedroom. So now here we are dealing with this nonsense.
Well, we're dealing with school, so she probably should be within earshot.
Yeah, what you're gonna watch it anyways? You're gonna mark out when I mark out for you as it is and put you over. So what are we doing here? But anywho, no, yeah, we're it's coming up in September, and I mean everything is falling in where it needs to be. The only thing is, minus my future brother-in-law, who is awesome, by the way. I couldn't be marrying into a better family. And again, I'm not just saying that because she's staring at me with a steel chair in her hand behind the computer here. No, I'm joking. Besides my brother-in-law, who actually already went and got fitted for his tux, none of my groomsmen have been fitted for their tux yet. So those guys, get off your fucking asses and let's go, dudes. All right, for real. This is insane.
Who are your groomsmen? Is it a cast of characters? Should this be like a gauntlet match?
It really is a cast of characters. A couple guys aren't wrestlers, so you won't know who they are. But my brother Vito, best man, co-best man, along with my brother Sal. So they're the co best men, if you will. And then Hardcore Craig.
It has to be Hardcore Craig.
Right. Joey Chichi.
Huh?
My brother-in-law Nathan. My future brother-in-law Chris. And then my buddy Ra. And then who am I missing, Jess? That's 7. Oh, and Brett, my buddy that I coach wrestling with. So there's eight assholes standing up with me that I can never remember all of them anyways. So
I mean that could turn into a 4-on-4 no holds barred match at any moment.
Oh, see, it's okay. See, it could, but that being said, there's no wrestling, like physical wrestling at our wedding, or else acid. Yeah, the effing magician Nolan, right? Nolan the magician, acid,
the fucking wizard.
Yeah, and Wagner or Sin, their job, they've already been told their job, if they see any fake chops, kicks, anything, is to yoke up who's ever doing it and throw them out of the venue. So yeah, there's no fake wrestling at the wedding. We're here to have fun. There are wrestling elements for sure, but no fake wrestling, no farting around. And then also as far as the officiant goes for the wedding, because also again wrestling ties wrestling, who's a great mutual friend between Jess and myself, is no other than Double J Justin James from yeah. So he's our officiant. So that's it. Really truly is a full blown battle royale of gimmicks. So it's gonna be a party.
I'm very happy that you didn't ask me to be the officiant because that would have been way too much fucking pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. When we asked Justin, he goes, "Ooh, you guys sure?" We're like, dude, yeah, like I've
Yeah.
seen you talk before. Like,
I would
you
have
know,
folded like a Budweiser lawn chair with that one. No thanks. That's way too much. I couldn't look over all those guys and not, start turning into Jim Ross. So that would
yeah.
have been too hard for me.
First of all, I'm trying. Why Joey, Craig? Why the fuck aren't they getting fitted by now? Like, they're gonna need special shit.
That's so, dude. Oh my God, you are not wrong. So I go to get fitted for my tux or my suit. We're not wearing like full tux. We got suit jackets and slacks and button up shirt and then ties and stuff. So I told the woman, I go, this is gonna be funny, but I'm gonna need a 52 tall skinny. And she looked at me like, you're not tall or skinny. I said, I understand that. I need tall for the length, but I need the width of the 52 jacket, but I need to taper it in for a skinnier person because my body is so awkward. And so then she measures my neck, measures my around my lats and then around my arms. She's like, oh boy. I'm like, that's a pretty tight hug there, isn't it? She's like, yeah. And meanwhile, Jess is laughing the whole time because she has seen me go through different stages of my body of shirts not fitting properly, or oh hey, I got to go buy a 2X shirt now, but let me go to the sewing machine and take it in on the sides because it fits my shoulders but it doesn't fit my lats. It's it's too big here or there. So she's seen it, so she's trying not to giggle. This woman's copping a feel all up and down my body, which is freaking hilarious. But I wasn't too far off. I ended up we'll put here's a 54 jacket. I'm like, I'm not a 54. I'm a 52 tall skinny. And 54, I'm looking like Sherman Klump. Hey, like what's going on? And I'm like, I told you guys, like this is what I need. And so we were just gonna go and bite the bullet and get custom. And then the guy that was there was just, hey, go get a different size jacket because again, I looked like I was calling myself a sonotube in a suit, where they pour the concrete and you're just like, here I am, I'm a tube. And they put the 52 on finally, and I'm like, okay, well, this is a little bit better. And she goes, well, we can take it in here. I said, to make it a skinny. She goes, yeah. I'm like,
They
all right, cool.
finally saw your way.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's not like I don't make outfits. It's not like I don't make size things up to people's bodies to where I don't know, take a little bit in here, take a little out there. What are we doing? So.
You're that guy. You're giving her the advice, and she should be listening to it. She just doesn't know who you are.
Exactly, and the thing, it's like I can only I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, this is spandex, I'd have made my own. Like, I don't give a shit about that. So
so on the big night, I imagine that the coup de grace are going to be the introductions. I have to believe there's going to be pageantry. Are you going to start it off with then, now, forever, or something like that? Like
I mean, I wasn't going to, but now I think we have to. Definitely, we'll have the Triple H voiceover for that. But no, so the intro, Nova has so far, she's decided she's coming out to Alexa Bliss by Bowling for Soup.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's because that's
Great
her favorite song, her favorite wrestler, favorite song. I've played that song I don't know how many times in my car now. Too many, I've lost count. And then the wedding party
and story is fantastic.
Oh yeah,
everything about that is fantastic.
Yeah. And the original concept was she was only supposed to be there. Can you shut those damn dogs up, please? Shut the door. Do something.
Pre-wedding jitters.
Yeah, no, yeah. And again, don't do it in the bedroom. Do it in the living room. No. So then the wedding party is coming out to Nickelback, "Burn It to the Ground." That's Jess's favorite song, and she didn't know that was Monday Night Raw's theme for her forever. So there's that. And then her and I are walking out to Cody Rhodes' theme music, and we have a whole whoa and everything ready to go over that. So
nice.
Yeah,
so pyrotechnics and smoke.
Possibly, and I may or may not have a different jacket ready to go for the entrance.
You probably fucking hired Gringo to pull this shit off. And Charlie will have smoke and fireworks.
That we were told we can't have anything inside of the venue pertaining to pyrotechnics. Yeah, so we have it worked Charlie, out.
He would have hooked you the fuck up.
We're gonna make it work. We got it all hooked up how we want it to be. It's gonna be good. Yeah, no, like I said, we're under 90 days now, so September's gonna be here before I know it.
It's
And
coming
yeah,
quick.
yeah. So we got
Just the
final
fact that
dress fittings.
it's a Thomaselli wedding. That word just by itself, you are there is a level of expectation every human that goes to that wedding is going to have.
Well, so we told them when we hooked up with the venue, like there's two things that need to be done for this wedding. We need to have good drinks and we need to have good food. And they're like, oh, well, that's not a problem. And where we're at, the food's outstanding. But I told him, I go, no, I was raised by my dad that said you will never leave my house hungry and you will never leave my house thirsty. I mean, I just left my dad's house now and my stomach is, I can't even see my toes right now. Like it's just, come on, Dad, it's too much. So that's what we told him. We don't want our guests leaving hungry. We don't want to leave them thirsty. We want good drinks, this, that. And we did our tasting and, you figure tasting, you're going to get a sample. So they told us, whatever you guys want, just here's the checklist, check it off. We'll have it ready for you. Like, all right, great, no problem. So we get there and Tom, the head chef, he's like,
Tell her
you
don't
guys,
hide.
you guys really wanted a lot of food, We're like, yeah, we want to try things just to make sure. He goes, you don't know how I cook, do you? I'm like, no. He's like, I know how to cook for an army, and that's it. I'm like, all right, whatever. We thought he was kind of being silly, didn't really know. But it was Jess, myself, and Nova. And at one point, at about the fourth course in, I started losing consciousness from all the meat sweats and the prime rib and the pork shoulder and like the different sauce. It was insane. It was absolutely insane that wow. It was, yeah. So he goes, well, don't worry about that. He goes, and I can't wait to talk to your dad. So don't worry, we'll be good to go. We'll be good to go. And then they said, as far as alcohol goes, like what, like Jess, what do you like? She goes, I like Tito's. And Brandon, what do you like? I go, I like Jack Daniels. So they said, don't worry, we'll make sure we have plenty of Jack and Tito and whatever else. But yeah, as long as there's Jack Daniels and Tito, we're good to go. So they showed us their little section of things, and I'm like, oh, there's plenty of Jack Daniels and Tito's there, so we'll be good to go on that one. So it's a
How's the
lot.
family feeling about it? Are the brothers excited? Is your dad excited? Are you guys really getting into it now?
Yeah. So it's funny. Yeah, my dad. Again, we're husky people in the Thomaselli family. It's just you're up and down, up and down, up and down with weight all the time. And my dad, he's been doing really well lately. He's lost probably about 50 pounds from where he was at. Again, can see his toes, so he's excited. But we go to the house tonight, and he goes, "Hey guys, look!" He's pointing to the wall, and he had his suit out that he just tried on today. He goes, "It fits. It fits. We're good to go." Like, hell yeah! Like, I got 3 months to keep it where it needs to be. So he was happy about that. So yeah, no. To say they're excited would be an understatement. My mom, you're talking about different girlfriends and things you've had, or in different relationships. She's told me multiple times. She goes, when you talk about Jess, you don't even. I've never heard you talk about someone like this before. So, for her to say things like that and mean it, and also being through with, previous relationships, marriages, ups and downs, both all three of us, it's been pretty nutty. So for that, to hear her talk about Jess here, I can't wait about the big day. Oh my God, it's gonna be before you know it. Like anything you guys need, let us know that week up, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, they're excited. My sister's in the wedding as well. So she's not excited only because she has to fit properly in her dress, whatever that means. So I don't know what properly fitting means. I know what fitting something means, but properly. So she wants to look good. So she's crushing it right now as far as working out, intermittent fasting, like just being super, super, super strict. It's pretty crazy. And then, my brother Vito, he keeps himself with a lot of things, and then when he talks or he wants to bring something up to you, it means something, And there's been quite a few times with him where he's like, dude, I love Jess, man. Like she's the best. She's the best. So I know he's excited in his own way. He's excited, and I told him, I go, just make sure you got about 5 to 7 on a best man speech. So you got the opening.
Is that curtain to curtain?
Yeah. So actually he's gonna be mid card. We're gonna let the maid of honor go first, and then Vito will be popcorn, and then Sal's gonna be main event to take it home. So
that sounds like the fight. That puts a lot of responsibility on the opener. You got to get that energy right.
Yeah. So, And that's why I figured I would put the Iron Saints second and third. That if something were to not go right, which I have no doubt in my mind that this is not going to. She's our maid of honor, Mal and Jess have been friends since like I don't know if it's freshman year of college, but since college. So I mean, they have over 20 years of a relationship, and not just like, oh yeah, no, like we were in the same sorority. Well, they're like literally sisters from different misters. So I have no doubt in my mind that her speech isn't going to be heartfelt and loving, and even if she doesn't talk about me at all, I know what the things she says about Jess are going to be truly, loving and coming from the heart. So then, like I said, if you don't sell, can take it home then. So
Sounds like a great plan.
yeah,
And, like I said, people that are coming from marriages that didn't work to do it again, it takes a lot. Because when you get out of one, you're like, I ain't fucking doing that ever again. Bullshit.
dude, I always tell her, "What did you do to me?" Like I never wanted to go back to Shawshank. That's a joke. I'm going back to Shawshank. Like here we are. Here we are. But no, you're not wrong, man. It does take a special someone to, in a weird way, this might be the wrong word, but in a weird way, convince another person to get back into that role of being a husband or partner, because you do get jaded. You do. You're mad at the world, and maybe not everyone is, but I know for a long time. And Steve, you saw me in a lot of that, like early on stages. I was angry. I was pissed. Like no one could do anything right. And then it affects every other little detail, especially like now I got to go out and entertain a crowd of people. But backstage where I can be Pauly, or I'm not Brandon anymore. I'm Pauly. As soon as I get out of that corridor, here we go. Pauly's here. I was angry. Like none of that mattered. To now seeing Acid Jazz this past Sunday at a wedding we were all at. He's like, man, Jazz, I don't know what you did to my boy. He goes, he smiles now. He goes, I don't know how you did it. He smiles. So yeah, but
it's a lot. You've come a long way in a short time. And like I said, we laughingly called you power ballad. But
yeah,
that was representing that you developed a bit of a softer side. It's not
yeah,
something that's easily done. It takes the right person to bring it out.
it was, and like Jess had a huge part in it. My parents had a huge part in it, and it was Nova. I didn't want her, like you see the stereotypical like angry dad on TV, right? Like the one on Criminal Minds that's doing the murdering that you don't realize they're doing until the very end. They catch him. It's like I didn't want her going through life having that angry dad that was like fucking around and really being a true dick for no reason. I wanted her to be excited that when it was my days to get her, where she's like, sweet, I'm going to dad's house. Yeah, and not fuck, I gotta go to dad's house. Dad's a brick, like I don't want that. So once I was able to kind of like start focusing more on, okay, my only job today is to make my daughter happy. Well, then to seeing her happy made me happy. Seeing her happy made my parents happy, made me happy. It was a kind of a little that snowball effect. And then, you try internet dating and things. And for me, I prefer that because I don't like to go out. I don't like leaving my house. I don't like going to bars. I don't like doing stuff. Once I'm at a wrestling show and I'm at a bar, different story. But to go like right now, like, oh man, it's Friday night, baby. Let's go. No, it's Friday night. Let's watch SmackDown and be left alone,
Yeah.
So to have Joey Chichi go, you've heard, I've told the story 100 times here already. My brother, I got the perfect girl. Okay, well, Bumble didn't work. Let's see if this will happen. Like what the fuck? And Joey wasn't wrong, and he's never lied to me once. He wasn't lying then, and that's why he's third in line on that stand of that dais of groomsmen.
And who will ever forget you thumb wrestling with Joey Chichi? It's like destiny.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
destiny.
No, and that's why, with that match, there was, if it was anyone else, I would just go, okay, we'll just bump around and be fine. But knowing that it's like one of my best friends, he's got a concussion, like we're not going to go out there and dick around. Like we're going out there and dick around, So
still one of the damnedest things I ever saw. So good. It's so good.
It's so good because it got over. I think that's why you like it so much, because it actually, like, on paper, that match should not have gotten over with the crowd. What do you mean a Pestis or a thumb war got over? Well, we were having fun. So yeah.
And it was, and the energy transferred right to that crowd. And I'm sure it's on Pow's website. I'm sure the match is
somewhere. It's on YouTube somewhere.
It's on YouTube somewhere. You got to go find it. It's really good. we're very happy for you.
I appreciate it.
It's great, you know, talking to you, hearing the energy in your voice. Not a lot of people get that the second time around when they're going up into one of these. It's like you're a kid on Christmas and Christmas is coming. And that's really cool.
It
Rick,
really
what
is,
do you
man.
have to say about this?
Oh, I mean, I'm ecstatic for
Thanks, man.
Pauly. The way you talk about her, again, I have to agree with everybody. Look at you, you're smiling, and I mean, again, didn't even say her name, and look, and he's smiling, and I've been there, you know, when I
Yeah.
split with Diamond, I was like, okay, well, fuck it, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just probably just gonna wind up being with somebody and we'll live together and we'll play
Right.
house, but I ain't getting fucking married again.
No.
And then when I it's crazy because when my stepson introduced me to his mom, the first time I saw her, I said, fuck, she's gonna be my wife. And
Uh-oh.
Not much
like
for
it
browsing.
like she for months she thought I was batshit crazy. And I told her. I
I
told
mean,
her the very first date, I said, you're gonna be my wife.
yeah.
And she thought like he is batshit crazy. Like I just wanted a friend, somebody I can hang out
We
with.
all just want a friend. What are you talking about?
You got the
I'm
Forest
like,
plan.
I'm like, yeah, we're in this now, baby. We're in this. And we even
Yeah.
talked about it the other day, going to a family event, like how the dynamic of our relationship has changed. And how, if more important for me, she's made me a better person.
Yeah.
And I can see how Jess has impacted you. You even played the engagement, uh, like you reposted it
Yeah, yeah, I did
on
it because
on.
we never posted it. So when we got engaged, we didn't post it. The people that were there were there. We had video of it, but we never posted it. So she goes, I kind of just want that for ourselves, isn't that? But for me, that was such a like. I'm not very smooth outside of the pro wrestling world, like Brandon's kind of a dope, Um, so to be able to like pull one over on someone that's way smarter than I am and have her have no idea what was going on. Like I was proud of that moment, not to mention like the effort that was put in from all not just a few of the people that were there, but everyone that was there to either keep it quiet, make sure that everyone's over here right now because we need this focus right here, like the camera's rolling this way, and it was a lot. So I hey, on the anniversary of our engagement, can I post? She's like, yeah, absolutely. So it was just nice to kind of see that, like that there's so many nuances in that video, like where we're you're because we went out that day under the premise of celebrating Joey Chichi's birthday. And so that's why we started doing a speech for Joey, and oh yeah, Joey, yeah, he's great, yeah, I get the fuck out of here. He goes, yep, or he says something like, or I'm doing that, or he says something really like. So there's that, and then after the proposal, yay, the things go up. You hear someone go unexpected, like there's just so many different things. I'm like, we've watched that video. She's watched it 10,000 more times than I've watched it. I've watched it a bunch. Again, it's a mark out moment. To see and hear those little things in it, was cool. I'm like, I want to make sure I have this, like the memory of this every year now. So
Big moment in time, and you did it very well. And that was just the engagement. And now
yeah,
we're just 90 days away from the main course, the
The
main
main event, baby.
main
event.
event, man.
It's night 2 of WrestleMania, Pauly. We're all in.
It's night 2 of WrestleMania. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it really is. It's the big one. It's the big one.
Well, we're happy for you. We're proud of you, and
Thank
we
you.
can't wait to see pictures and hear stories because I'm
There will
sure
be
they're going to
plenty
be
of
great.
photos and stories, I'm sure.
Honeymoon, are you guys
Especially,
going somewhere?
we haven't quite narrowed that down 100% yet. That's gonna have to wait either for spring break or summer break of next year due to her teaching schedule. But we're thinking, I mean, honestly, for me, as long as it has a swim up bar and all inclusive and like an adults only area in whatever resort we're at, I'm good to go. You know, I want to sit there and do the super drinking contest. I want to play adult pool volleyball and fart around as much as I possibly can, because this is a week where I want to put on 20 pounds of beer and then be left alone. So
That makes
My
sense.
man,
yeah,
my man. All the perfect requirements.
I'm going with a 6-pack and leaving with a kegel. Let's go.
Yeah,
So,
when I got married, we went to a place called Riviera del Maya, and there
Mhm.
was a swim up bar, and it was all inclusive. And I got the worst sunburn of my life, but boy, did I eat and drink well.
I got sunburned yesterday, man, and this isn't the worst of my life. So this is bad enough as it is. So I can only imagine what you had in the Riviera Maya.
No one
Sucks.
ever warned me about the equator.
Yeah,
I just went
yeah.
out. I just went out and sat on the beach while my wife got a massage or a
Ooh,
spa day. So I was on the beach for
ooh.
about 4 hours.
Oh
Fucked up the entire
no,
trip.
no, yeah,
I've
don't
never
do that.
traveled. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Oh shit.
I,
You
I
I
just
used
put
know.
my book in my Walkman and I sat there on the beach and
I used
fell
some SPF
asleep.
30
And
yesterday, and I don't know if I sweated it off before it was able to sink in or whatnot. And I have the worst, like, because I was kind of sitting a little bit, so my tits covered up part of my belly, so I have a weird like triangle thing here. It's not good at all. So we're going away this weekend on a huge family trip, and we're getting sunscreen. I go, get SPF 50. She goes, what am I? Get me the kids SPF 50. It's strong. It's like I don't give a fuck if I tan or not. Like, I'm good right now.
don't die this weekend because that autopsy would be a little hard to explain.
Oh yeah. Man dies with his entire family around laughing at him. So yeah, we don't need that at all.
What a way to go. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's amazing. 90 days and counting. It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
fabulous. It's going to be wonderful. Congratulations to you
Thank you.
and the soon to be Mrs. and to Nova, because it's big for her too. And
Yeah,
I love the fact that she's so included. That's so important.
she really is. She really, really is. And that's why I keep asking, like, what song do you want to use now? She's like, I think I still want Alexa Bliss. I'm like, okay, cool. Because for a little bit there, it was like Skater Boy. And then it was, I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss. And so it's again, whatever you want, like whatever you want, day of, you just tell the DJ we'll be good to go. So
Wow,
that's
you
your little
better
entrance.
watch out because when that song plays, Riccolo just might show up and pop some confetti.
He might. So that's why we're gonna go with. I believe as of right now, it's Alexa Bliss, and I love that fucking song. So
Yeah, no,
again,
that's the
like we
perfect.
talked about, the
That's
video's
fantastic.
great, everything's great. Alexa Bliss is awesome, and the only reason Nova really started liking Alexa Bliss was because of that video. Because in the video, she's wearing a Gene Simmons apron that says "Kiss the Chef," and she goes, she likes Kiss. I was like, well, evidently, yeah. She goes, I like Kiss, and then she sees her doing gymnastics stuff. She goes, she does gymnastics. I do gymnastics. So she's like, oh my god, this is like my favorite person in the world. So
Well, they should be buddies, and she could be the second coming of Alexa Bliss down the road.
I'd be okay with that. Just give me WrestleMania tickets. So you know,
That's the important thing. That's
Well,
yeah,
the,
you wouldn't need tickets. I mean, she could give you, comps,
you
that's
get
what I'm saying.
hospitality.
That's what I'm saying. Just give me the WrestleMania tickets. Give me that treatment, the family treatment.
Do you want to sit up in the suites, or do you want to sit down in the action?
I want to be in the suites for night 1, and then night 2, I want to be in the suites. Except for her match, I want the family spot on the hard cam side. Where the
So her
hard cam.
opponent can slap you in the face.
Yeah. That I want that. I want my WrestleMania moment too. You gotta have that. So
100%,
yeah.
100%.
You're only here because of me, anyways. Well, half because of me. So yeah, give me that moment. Come on. What are we doing here?
I can't even imagine what that would look like. Somebody slapping you in the face and you jumping over the barricade, security dragging your carcass.
Dude, I would take a tombstone from whoever the Bailey's daughter is at that point. Give me a tombstone on the goddamn entranceway. Let's go. It's WrestleMania. I don't care.
Make sure you sell that shit, man. Don't
all
no
day,
sell it.
all day, all day. Put them over all day.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. We were talking earlier before you got here about my experiences at ARW this past Friday night. And as you can see, I squeezed an armband around my head,
Yeah.
so I can't feel my hair right now, but we're acknowledging someone that you knew pretty well. And I thought maybe you'd have a story or two about Ivan Manson.
So I kind of talked about this story on my post that I made after he passed away, and it's the first time we met, so we knew about each other. We always knew about one another, and I always had a reputation of kind of being a stiff prick in the ring. Still do. And I don't apologize for it either. It is what it is, because it's not that bad. But that being said, I knew we were starting to work a program with Braun and Ivan and stuff, and I just remember him coming up to me, and he was already in gear. I showed up late. Go figure. I showed up late to a show, right? But he was already in gear, and he kind of came tromping up to me, and he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I hear you're a stiff prick in the ring." I said, "That's the rumor. I don't know, whatever, you know." And he goes, "No, no, I like that." I said, "Okay." I go, "Listen, I might be a stiff prick." I go, "But I just like to bring it as much as it's brought to me, you know. So I'll let you go first, and whatever we do, blah 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 blah, right? Whatever." So, you know, Ivan was old school. He was that Windy City mentality, that old, you know, original OG Windy City, right? Not the bullshit you see today, the fake stuff. So, Ivan was real. He was always real. He was the realest, you know, bada boom realest guy in the room, right? And I'll never forget that, because it was cool to me, thinking like, dude, I've known this guy since before I was even in the business. And he came up to me like, "Oh, I got a reputation. We're going to be good, or it's going to be bad. You know, we'll see what happens." Right. But when we were talking to one another, it wasn't necessarily like oh yeah, like we weren't sticking our chest out, like, but we were kind of sticking our chest out, you know, like yeah, I'm tough, I'm this, I'm that. Right. And I'll never forget, you know, he gave me that first shot in the match, and I was like, hell yeah, like this is what I like. This is what I do. Like, this is hell. Fuck, let's go. So when I gave him a blast back, we were shooting, you know, trading back. Well, when we got in the back, like we lost that match. I believe I teamed with Aaron Xavier, and we lost that match. And when I got in the back, there were people legit like, "Dude, did he owe you money? Like, what what happened out there?" You know, and oh, we were fine. What are you talking? You know, then he comes in the back, and it's like, oh shit! Like, people thought like we were gonna start getting back at it, right? I'm like, no. He's like, "Dude, that was fucking great, bro." I'm like, "Yeah, it was." Like, "Hell yeah," you know. Like, but there were literally people like, "Oh no, they're squaring off." Like, "No, we're just high five and a handshake. This is great," you know. So that's my first and best memory of him. Uh, because again, reputations and everything aside, there were no egos, although it looked like there were two gigantic egos, and we crushed it. And then that led into Craig coming in, having the retirement match. That's when, you know, again, another one of your favorite matches, Steve, that we had a fucking riot with. You know, there was so much fun
There
with that
was
match.
so much shit in that
And,
building that you
and
used.
and there's so many little innuendos of things, you know, being used, or inside jokes in the back we thought would be funny, that luckily were over because we thought it was funny. Wasn't necessarily going to happen to everyone else thinking, but it worked out that it was, you know. So then we ended up having that, and then we kind of split up a little bit, because GPW kind of had their little civil war, if you will. And
Remember that? I remember that well.
yeah. So we kind of, you know, went our separate ways, but we would run into each other here and there. And when we would, it was always, it was never, and I can't stress, it was never like, "Oh, here comes Ivan to say hi to me. Okay, great. Let's see how this goes." You know, like, it was never that. I was like, oh, it was always, you know, a hug and a very, very exciting thing to be there. You know, it was always, you know, he always made you feel special to be around. And I hope that, you know, he never had any like, "Oh, fuck, here comes Pauly." I hope it was always a good experience for him too, because he never once made me feel like an asshole. He never once made me feel that I didn't matter on the show. And the first show I ever brought Nova to, he was there, and he treated her like a little queen. Put me over, "Oh, your daddy's so cool," and things like that. That he didn't have to do. He could have just walked away or just said hello and been nice, but he went the extra mile. So I will forever ever have good memories of Ivan. I mean, people might have had different experiences. I don't know, but for me, I've never had one bad experience. I never had one bad experience, and I'll cherish the few times we had together, and especially the time in the ring together. You know.
We had a chance to sit down, me and Ivan, and we talked. It was not in an interview form. It was just we were having a beer and we were chatting. It was after a show one time. And I always bring up the retirement match because it was just such great fun. I always like to hear the stories about it. And what I remember distinctly is he's like, "Fucking love Pauly Thomaselli, man. I fucking love that dude.
Oh
I would
man.
wrestle him for free on a mountain with nobody watching." And for someone like that to say something like that, that was a real. It's not like he
No,
was
it was.
he didn't
And
have
now
to.
you're gonna get my eye allergies acting up. So let's not tell any more of the story, man. The fuck, dude.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a beautiful tribute to him, and
Yeah,
if you're watering up a little bit right now, that's nothing compared to all the people,
I
watching
could only
Cheek,
imagine.
watching Cheeks in that ring while it was happening was heartbreaking. Watching Braun tear up, heartbreaking, but
Yeah,
it was such a night of cathartic help for everybody that kind of came together, and they grieved and they got comfort together. So it was really, really cool.
right.
You could feel his energy in the building, and they say, you don't get to see anything after you're gone, but I have to believe he was there. I have
I'd
to
hope
believe,
so. I'd
because
hope so.
and he would have smiled and he would have really enjoyed it, because it was
Or he
not
would have been
easy.
pissed off that you're all crying, call you all douchebags, and you're crying, and then he'd like, get him out, let's go, let's fucking wrestle, let's go.
Well, that's the thing, because the big shtick was they were going to unite the family and the AFA. They were going to become one faction until Quinn Whittick said, Ivan would kill us for doing this. And then he punched Muggsy James in the mouth, and it turned into the biggest pull apart I've ever seen. So
Nice,
now there's hatred. So
perfect.
I think that's the part Ivan Manson would have really liked. The fact that
Yeah.
now both
Now he
factions.
just wants to get a payday that you're exploiting his death. What the fuck? So
That's exactly. He's going to want that money. He's going
yeah,
to
what
want
the
that
fuck? And
money.
exactly again, that's old school. Pin me, pay me, get out of here.
He's got his the boots are in the ring. I'm pretty
Oh
I was waiting for him to come down and put those boots on. But it
man,
was it was one of those moments that you just never forget. And it was my
yeah.
first show. I have never worked for ARW before. It was my first time in Lake Station. So
Okay,
doing commentary for them on that night being my debut, that was a motherfucking tall order. I'm like,
that's a very tall
what am I
order.
supposed to do with this?
Yeah,
But it worked out, and it was a
oof.
good night, and everybody seemed to have a good time. But
I would
I'm
hope
talking
so,
about
man.
somebody
I'd
gone
hope
too
so.
soon.
It's just I talked to Nick Cutler of all people, and we talked after Ivan's passing, and he told me about how he was on his boat, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And, I to go that way would be the best way for anyone peacefully, right? This, you'd hope that it's the way he would want it, but who the fuck wants to die as it is? For me, let me go in my sleep because I love sleeping. I don't want to wait. If my choice is to not wake up, then let me go that way one day.
Because at least
But
you
to
go
be,
to bed with the intention, I'm going to get some good rest.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the way. Yeah,
and maybe scare the person I'm laying next to in the morning a little bit just to piss them off. But it's just
you're such a
it,
fucking heel.
that death is so fucked up, man. And when you think about it, that this person that you may have saw yesterday, last night, 10 minutes ago, or 10 years ago, to know that they're not around. That's what's hard for me with a lot of things like um, personal experience. My grandma. I have both my grandmas are passed away now at this point, but my grandma Tom is passing away. Or Thomaselli, right? She was. Let's use our we're using our superhero names here. Um, but my dad's mom, when she passed away, we were so tight. I mean, I even have when she passed away, I had this angel tattooed on my arm, and it says Grandma Thomas here. Like that. That was a big deal. But I saw her every day. We were tight. We were thick as thieves. There was things I told her that I've told no one. And the only other person to tell me about these things that I told my grandma was a psychic, which I didn't believe I didn't believe psychics, none of this shit, until I'm sitting there rapping with this girl. And she's like, "Oh yeah, your grandma's." I'm like, "Hey, grandma, what's up?" And she started doing certain manuals that her grandma would do, and she's laughing about this, and this, and she's, "Oh yeah," starts bringing up stories, and I'm like, "Wait," it's like So I grieved my grandma because I saw her all the time. I feel bad that although it hurt me the same as with my other grandma passed away, I still think at times that she's just in Kenosha, because we didn't see each other every day. Whereas my other grandma and I, we did see each other every day because I parked my gravel truck there. So I'd park my truck, I'd go to her house, we'd chill out, we'd do a couple hours, I'd fall asleep for a minute, she'd make me food, and I'd go home. It was awesome. Um, but you grieve things differently. But like I said, there's that, and then so Ivan's the same thing. He was a buddy of mine. He was a good dude, but we weren't boys. Like we didn't chit chat daily. maybe a couple like bullshit things on Facebook or something. Like I remember him saying one thing about like people not talking or something. I go, it's your bad breath, and we laughed at each other back and forth, like, oh yeah, Pauly, this, we just had fun with, like, again, to me, he's always gonna be there for me. And now, but when you break it down, you go, fuck, like, he's not with us like that, dude. It hurts, man. It hurts because, again, like you said, I'd wrestle that guy on a mountain in front of no one. I feel the same way. I'd wrestle him right outside my patio here. Let's go have some fun. I know we're gonna have time. I know I'm gonna be safe. I know
You just can't wrestle him at your wedding.
No wrestling at the wedding. That's rule number one. Yeah, no, that's rule number one. Jimmy Blades even goes, well, what if I decide to like chop someone? I go, then you're gonna get thrown out. If I see it, you're getting thrown out. Come on, bro. I'm
That
like,
would be the greatest story ever. Jimmy
no,
Blades.
he goes, dude. He goes, I agree 100%. No wrestling should be done at your wedding. And I took that rule. If I'm going to drop a name here, Tommy Dreamer. So Tommy Dreamer, when I was getting married the first time we were on a show together, and he goes, "Oh, you're getting married, man?" I'm like, "Yeah, a couple weeks getting married." He goes, "Cool." He goes, "You inviting any wrestlers to your wedding?" I said, "Oh, there's a few." He goes, "Tell them to stay home right now." I'm like, "What? What?" He goes, "Nah, man, tell them to stay home right now." I said, "Well, the wedding itself is just an intimate, immediate family thing, and then next month we're gonna do a big party at our house." He goes, "Oh, that's okay then." He goes, "I thought you were doing like the traditional, like, hey, we have a hall, hey, we have this, we're gonna have the dried chicken, all this other shit, right?" He goes, "At my wedding, we're all on the dance floor, we're all having fun, and all of a sudden I see Spike Dudley grab the microphone from the DJ. Hey, Tommy!" And he goes, "Oh no, fuck. Who get the microphone?" He goes, "Bubba's there, Devon's there. They're trying to wrestle the microphone away from him." All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I feel the fucking microphone come, and it's Spike bonking him in the head with the microphone and trying to start a work shoot at the wedding. So he goes, "Don't ever, if you have a
Either that or
baptism
don't have the Dudley boys at your wedding."
He goes, "If you have a baptism for your child, if you have a wedding, if you have Christmas Eve at your house, do not invite wrestlers to an important event." He goes, "They're all assholes, man. They're all assholes." So I told Jim that story. He goes, "No, I agree with that." So that's why that's the big running joke is like, can I just throw like one chop? No chops, Jimmy. No chops. We're not doing this. I go, I see one word kick, with the Steve, I love you, but the Steve Boz chop. We're not doing that. We're not Steve Boz leg slapping, all right? None of that stuff at our fucking wedding.
Well, I already know Boz is
your...
not coming.
Yeah. Boz,
we already know
the Boz punched everybody. That's awesome.
All I know is you said Wagner. As much as I love Nolan, fuck Nolan. Because as soon as anybody sees Wagner,
did I tell the story of just meeting Wagner on this podcast?
I don't think so.
We're going to Nolan's wedding, and this is a big deal. I'm bringing a date to like one of these events, right? Let alone someone that I actually truly really care about. But now we're all older, things are cool, and it was Ass's wedding, and I just told her, I go, "Hey, listen, like, we're gonna get there. We're gonna see Wagner, okay?" She's like, "Okay, whatever." Like, but I'm like, Wagner he's like a pit bull that was raised by really good dog owners, but could never really control him because of his strength. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And I go, "It's Sin, all right? It's Wagner Sin, whatever, I go, "Here's the deal. We're gonna see him, and whether he sees me first or he turns around, he's gonna see me, whatever the case be. I'm like, hey Wagner, hi, buddy. Oh my God." I go, "He doesn't know personal space, okay?" I go, "But it's not a bad thing because he truly loves." I go, "I hate to say it's because it's me, but like a dog. He's a puppy dog." She's like, "Okay, like whatever, fine, whatever, blah, blah." So we walk in, we see Nolan. My brother was there. Everything was great. A couple of other guys I haven't seen in a while, Double M, this, that. And Wagner's back is turned to us in a chair. So I just tap, tap, tap. He turns around, buddy. He breaks my back, because he's way too strong. Red nose. He's way too strong for his own good. And then he turns, and He turns, you must be Jess. And she's like, hi, sir. Oh my God. Gives her this big old hug. And she's looking at me like, how the fuck did you tell him to do this? Like, what's going on? Luckily, she's a hugger. She loves people, so it was all good. But like that's like our biggest joke. Is like, buddy. Just, so yeah. People like, when Wagner got the invite, he messaged me. He's like, bro, dude, I can't wait. I'm like, I know, bro, I can't wait. He goes, I can't wait to see your dad. I'm gonna hug the shit out of that guy. I'm like, just be careful. Just be careful.
You gotta get your dad a flak jacket just in case.
He's gonna need something. So yeah, it's like I said, again, being the antisocial kind of butthole that I am, the few people on my side of things that are going to be there are very few. The majority are definitely from Jess's side. Luckily, minus like the two people that I knew going into the relationship with her on her side of things, everyone else is just as amazing as she is. This is the first person I've been with that when you talk about their friends or their family, you're like, I actually have good things to say, and not like, oh, yeah, she's really cool, but like, man, her friends suck. You're like, fuck, I hate hanging out with them. Or, oh, Becky's such a bitch. There's none of that. Like, there really is none of that. So it's gonna be a fucking party, and we just told each other that the only rule her and I have that day is to stay not sober enough, but regulated enough to remember everything, because I personally, and I know I can speak for Jess too. We personally want, we just want everyone to enjoy themselves. And I think as you get older, it's like Christmas time. What do you want for Christmas? I want my daughter I want to see a smile on my daughter's face, or I want to see when I give Vito this certain gift that I thought was funny. I want to see that smile, things like that. I think us now being in our early 40s, that at this point, we just want to make sure everyone has a good time. And again, no one leaves hungry and no one leaves thirsty. So, and then follow the bride and groom down the road. When we get thrown out of here, we're going to the next bar. When that bar closes, we're going to the one over here. Let's go. Come on,
So you have like a map of places that stops along the way.
We get booted out at about 11 o'clock from the wedding, and then there's another bar that's open till like midnight, 1 o'clock, and there's another bar that's open till 2 o'clock. So we want to go in our fancy outfits and dance the night away. So
good Lord, there's going to be wrestling at some point. You can't
possibly
stop nature. You cannot stop nature.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see.
That Spike Dudley moment.
No Spike Dudley moments, dude. No Spike Dudley. Please, I can't do it. I just can't.
Watch out for fucking Jimmy Blaze,
also,
man.
And
watch out.
I'm not worried about Jimmy Blaze. Jimmy is no freaking way will he fuck us over on that. But also, if anyone does fuck with us, and let's say Nolan and Acid or Nolan and Wagner can't help out, our baker, Magnus King, if you will, he also said he will take care of business for us. If anything goes wrong, he will yoke people up and literally lift them up like this and go, okay, get out of here. So
I think you're going to be okay till 11 o'clock. It's when the party goes somewhere else.
Oh yeah, right. No, listen, after 11 o'clock, I don't care what happens. That's it. Okay, well, after last call, I don't care what happens. But between the hours of I do and everyone's got to go because the lights are on, don't F around. So
that makes sense. But somewhere along the way, someone's going through a table.
The after party.
We all know about those after parties, man. And I was looking at, so we were there the other day. We were finalizing some things because we've had they've had issues with coordinators, event coordinators coming and going. So we'll see what that. Hasn't been a big deal, but it's been a slight issue where all of a sudden, oh, by the way, blah, blah, blah is gone now. So you have a new event coordinator for your big day. Like, don't do this, So we were back out there the other day. And really, Steve, I don't know if you've ever been to RCW or Dreamwave, but Red,
Dreamwave I've been to.
Yeah, you've been down to LaSalle, right, Red?
Yep, of course.
So you know where their early events were held, and then at like the Flamingo Hall, and then all of a sudden it was like First Street was just bar. That's kind of the way Elburn is set up a little bit. It's a smaller condensed version, but it's like a mini LaSalle. So like when we were leaving, I pulled out of the parking lot and I looked and went, bar. Dude, I'm in LaSalle right now. Like, oh no. Yeah,
You know what
it's-
I hated? It would be those few times where I say, I'm gonna hang out tonight. And I go put my bag in the car. Now I gotta walk in each bar or look to see where the fuck everybody else is at. Because of course I'm slow,
Yeah.
and I'm like, are they in this bar? No. Are they in this bar? No. Oh, we're in this bar. Okay, all right. Then yeah, we're going over here.
Yeah.
I just
We're going to Backstreet. I don't want to go to Backstreet, but Backstreet Pub. We're going to Backstreet Pub. The amount of illegal drinks I drink in that bar at 19, 20 years old. Whoo, using Vito's ID, buddy.
That tracks. That tracks.
Yeah.
Um,
It was
What-
funny because Vito and I looked enough alike. I never thought we looked alike, but people always said we did. So, but back then, they were just looking, okay, not close enough, here, whatever. It's LaSalle, right? So Vito would go in, and then someone would come out, pass me the gimmick, and then here we go. We'd wait a couple of minutes just to make sure they saw a couple of different IDs, and all right, here you go, get right back in. So I'd give Vito's ideas back, and here we were. It was insane, dude. It's fucking insane.
you always have the hookup in some form or fashion. It just
Always.
that's just your
always.
nature,
And then the last time, so we've had a couple wrestling shows at the brewery where we're getting married.
right?
So the last time we were there, this May or end of May, kick-ass show. Pre-sales were through the roof. They were super happy. We hopefully will be getting another one. I got to find out what's going on with that. But the show's over. Jess and I go into the bar. We were actually looking for Jess's brother. We didn't know he left. So we were like, oh, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? He Irish goodbye and got out. But as we walk in, we hear, Pauly! Yeah, that's me. Come here. So Jess and I come on. What are you drinking, man? I said, nothing. We just finished the show. What do you suggest? Some random guy, right? And what do you like? Because I ended up, give me whatever ciders you have, because I like ciders. Okay, cool. As I go to pull my wallet, yeah, your money's no good. Put it on our tab. Just we introduce you. What do you want, honey? Whatever you got, put it on our tab. So next round comes around, I go to get it. Your money's no good here. What do you guys want? So now Jess is talking to their wives. I'm talking to these guys. We're talking wrestling. We're talking life, everything. Fast forward another half hour, 45 minutes. We got to go. We actually had to go meet up for another thing. So we walking to the car. She goes, who were those guys? I don't know. Wait, but you were talking. I said, yeah, we were talking. Because they were buying us drinks. I said, yeah. Welcome to LaSalle 2004. That's just what happens. I don't know. That's right, Red knows. I go, I never paid for a drink in my life in LaSalle, Illinois, because you walked in, you were one of the wrestlers. They either gave it to you for free or fans are buying stuff for you. I go, that's what it was like. And here we are in Elburn. And she goes, but you were talking like you do them. I said, no, I'm just a friendly guy. You just don't see that though.
You have that worker mentality that you just went with it. You went with the angle and took it where it was going to go.
Pretty much.
It's that great training you have.
Yeah. Like my brother always said, ABW, man, always be working.
Always be selling. 100%.
Always be working. And then with his sales, it was ABS. Anti-lock brake system. No, buddy, always be selling.
Always be selling.
Yep. So we're ABW. Always be working when it comes to being a wrestler, man. It wasn't even like that. It was just. It was, but it wasn't supposed to be like that. It was just, hey, yeah, that's my name,
I thought it was Wagner for a minute, the way you did it.
Buddy. Yeah, no, Wagner is straight up buddy. I can't wait. I will have my phone on me at some point during the reception where I'm just gonna be filming him to where he sees me. Because I need to get at least one buddy on camera, because people don't, unless you know Sin. People don't believe it, like Jess didn't believe it. She thought, oh yeah, you have a friendly friend. Yeah, right. Remember when China picked up Marlena for the first time and was shaking her? That was Wagner with Jess. Like, I'm so happy. Like, I see how happy you make my friend. Oh my God. She's like, thank you, sir. Can you just one step back? You're spitting on me.
Those magic moments.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, you got any shows coming up in the near future? Are you done?
I do. July 19th, we actually have a really, really, really kick-ass thing going on with Elk Grove Rotary Fest. So I don't know if you've seen ABC News covered it, and it's been kind of floating around. About a month or so ago, our friend Justin James, who's friends with the mayor of Elk Grove, Mayor Johnson, they were at a city board meeting.
I did.
And
I did.
you saw that, right? How
Yeah.
kick-ass was that? So they're talking about Rotary Fest coming up, and all of a sudden, two guys in the Bad Hombre Cartel, Ruthless Ramon, shows up talking shit to Mayor Johnson, and they're gonna have a tag match because they're literally at a city hall meeting talking shit to the mayor of Elk Grove. Like, talk about the balls on these guys, right? Because they don't have the height. The height, the tallest guy is about 5'4", so they don't got the height. They can't ride half the rides at Six Flags, okay? In Bad Hombre Cartel, but they got balls. They got balls for days to sit there and shit talk Justin James and Mayor Johnson. So that all being said, it's now turned into a regular tag match because Mayor Johnson's like, "Fuck you guys. You want to be tough? I've been a wrestling coach for 100 years. You know, I'm not scared of you little turds, right?" Justin's one guy to never back down from a fight, so Justin's talking shit back. Well, they ended up at the last Powell show jumping Justin James from behind. Chi-Chi and I make the save. It's now an 8-man tag, all four Bad Arm Breaker Cartel guys against Team Elk Grove, Justin James, Mayor Johnson, Joey Chi-Chi, and Pauly Thomaselli. July 19th. You guys have to be at Rotary Fest for July 19th, Elk Grove Village. It's a super show for us. POW titles will be on the line for certain matches. Melanie Cruz is making a return to the wrestling business, teaming with her brother, Elk Grove's own Stonewall, against Hardcore Craig, and I can't remember the girl they're Craig's teaming with, but it's gonna be gonna be a kicking show. If you like to yell at Will Emery, tell him to stop skipping leg days. He'll be there that day. So I think he's wrestling James Creed.
That guy never hurt anybody.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He skips calves all day long. All right, my daughter's calves are bigger than his, so deal with it.
That's accurate. That's probably
that's accurate. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a really kick-ass wrestling event. Jimmy Blaze is actually reffing our match in the main event. So yeah, if you ever want to see Elk Grove's mayor beat the fuck out of some people with us just kind of in the background, yay! That's going to happen on July 19th. And
I secretly love the Bad Hombre Cartel. Those guys crack me the fuck up.
Hey, kayfabe. Me too. Edit that part out.
I religiously watch their podcasts. I think those guys are entertaining as fuck.
But see, that's different. That the Bad Hombre Cartel is not Salud Cabrones. So
there's enough of them in there. Hey, there's the dog.
Yeah, this is Bella. This is a loud one. She wants to come say hi. This is my baby.
Is she going to the wedding?
She is not going to be at the wedding. She will be, of all places, with my ex-wife who watches dogs for a side gimmick. So, yeah, and I trust her. She takes good care of the doggies, so it'll be good.
That works. How old is that little miss?
This little miss is 5 months today. I think what's today? Yeah, 17. 5 months today.
Holy shit, that's a big dude.
She's a baby. She's a baby, so
she's gonna be a big girl at some point.
She's about 22 pounds right now. So, is
that a retriever?
It is a black lab mix. Yeah. So, funny story. Jess saw this dog online that her friend kept sharing about this dog, and he was awesome. I mean, he had like, if you ever saw Paul Stanley's old Bandit mask paint, his markings were like the Bandit mask that Paul Stanley had back in the day. So I go, we need to name him Bandit. Like, he's awesome. I don't remember the name he was going to be, whatever, irrelevant at this point. But it was a couple weeks where this dog kept popping up on Jess's Facebook page. And I said, there's a famous promo by Dusty Rhodes in 1990 when he's talking about Macho King and SummerSlam 90. He goes, let's stop talking about it. Let's stop looking for it. Let's stop running around the country. Let's go to Philadelphia and let's go get it because the heat is on, baby. So I told Jess, let's go. Let's stop looking for it. Let's stop running around the country looking for it. Let's go. Let's get this fucking dog. Literally the day that I finally had balls enough to stand up for getting this dog, he gets adopted. 3 weeks, dude. 3 fucking weeks, mind you, right? So whatever. Luckily, he finds his forever home. But we put the app in, with the adoption agency. Well, they call us. That was on a Saturday. They call us that Monday. Oh, by the way, yeah, Bubba was adopted. Fuck, like that sucks. when we both found out that he was adopted, we were both sad. Like, I want a baby.
Yeah, now you gotta the train has left the station.
Yeah, yeah. And like, so growing up, we only had one dog as a family. They would pass away. We'd wait a little bit, and then we'd get another one because we're dog people, right? Same thing with Jess. And then when I got Bucky, my chocolate lab, I had two dogs. And I loved having two dogs. I had my little guy, I had my big guy, everything was great. And then I missed having two dogs, especially when my little guy passed away in 2022. Like that was the worst day of my life. I remember, oh, it was horrible. I don't even want to go into it. Long short, he passed away. It sucked. Yada yada. So I was telling Jess, like, I would not mind having a second dog. I really wouldn't. And she goes, well, I want a dog because Bucky is always up in your business. We sit on the couch and Bucky's in my lap. Bucky's laying on me. Bucky sleeps next to me. Bucky's my guy. He's always going to be my dog. So she wants a dog for herself. And I said, that's fine, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then as we find this dog, blah, 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 move on. He gets adopted. They call us. Well, we have this dog. Her name was Ellie online, because the adoptions usually have their own name for their dogs. And I'm like, I don't like the name Ellie. She's like, neither do I. So we're like, all right, cool. Well, we'll go see her. I wanted her, Jess wanted her. Nova had no idea. So Nova thinks we're going to some trivia night because that was the original plan to go to trivia night. But we're bringing Bucky with. She goes, why is Bucky coming with us? Always, paying attention to everything. I go, oh yeah, this is a place where you can bring your dog. It's a bar you can bring your dogs for trivia. She's like, oh, that's super cool, blah, blah, blah. So we're like halfway to the meeting point, and I go, hey, what do you think of this dog? She's sitting in the back seat, so I showed the phone. She's so cute. I love her, Dad. I'm like, that's good because we're actually not going to trivia night. We're going to go meet up with her right now. And as long as Bucky's cool with her, we're probably bringing her home. I think my daughter poops her pants. So we meet up. My dog, dude, Bucky couldn't give two shits about another dog being around him. Gives her a couple sniffs. We walk around the building together. They're cool with one another, but there was no issues. They're like, all right, well, what do you guys want to do? We're like, yes, right now. Here. Where do we fill out? What do we sign? So now we have Bella. So we have Bella and Bucky, the double B's. And she's awesome. She's a little bitch, but she's awesome.
You got the killer bees.
Yeah, we got the killer bees, Bella and Bucky. And then to top it off, my future in-laws, their dog's name's Bailey, and she can be a killer if she doesn't like you. Just yeah. The first couple times I was at their house, I'm like, this is never gonna work. And now she comes and sits in my lap, and I'm like, oh, who's a good girl? Yeah, I told you, I'm your best friend. So
amazing.
Yeah, man, we're another look into the inside life of Pauly Thomaselli. I love dogs too. So I always tell people, like, I'll never tell you if I win the lottery, but there will be signs like me buying a big plot of land and having 1,000 dogs. Like, there can't be enough. There just can't be enough.
Gotta be careful. They don't like people that have big plots of land with dogs. That doesn't go
right.
Well.
Right. Yeah, no, give me a sanctuary, man. This is a happy place for the puppers. So at least 5. I want at least 5.
Every time when we have you on the show, I find that less and less each time we talk about wrestling.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what else do you want to talk about besides Rotary Fest? I mean, we got a couple matches here and there, and things like that. Okay. I teamed with Craig for the first time in a long time in May. That was fun.
That
No, we talk about power ballads and how cool Jess is, and then we talk about puppies.
That's
not the Jerry the King Lawler puppies from the 90s.
No, not those puppies. You can't talk about those puppies anymore.
You really can't.
And Wagner.
Buddy.
Yeah. He's our favorite. He's our favorite buddy.
Oh, God.
Here's the thing about that guy, though. I could call him tomorrow, and we would have a conversation as if we had not, even if we didn't speak in 30 years, it would be as if we just talked yesterday. There's never a, what the fuck, why didn't you call me? Blah, blah, blah. And same with Nolan. We talk sporadically here and there. Like, that's why, like I said, I'm like, you guys are my muscle at the wedding. I need this. Oh, yeah, don't worry, buddy. We got it. Grandmaster B, we got this. Yeah.
I want to know when Pauly Thomaselli is going to be a super wrestler. When are you going to fight Nolan the fucking Wizard?
It's not my call.
Put that Billy Whack back on.
Yeah, it's not my listen. I would love to do super wrestlers. I've talked to Wack about this. I wanted to be CM Chump and do a rip off of a horrible CM Punk character. I want it to be Terry Blanchard and be a shitty Trevor Blanchard character. None of that stuff's really relevant though to what they got going on. It's more inside shit for me to giggle and make fun of, Phil or Trevor Blanchard. But I don't necessarily know that. I don't think Wax sees an actor in me. I don't think Wax sees an additional character that I could be other than, Brandon / Pauly Thomaselli, whatever my name is, whatever you want to call me this weekend, So again, I'll come audition. I don't give a fuck. I'll make really cool gear. I don't give a fuck. But that being said, I don't know if they can look beyond the guy that is me. I don't think they know that I can wrestle actual like TV style and throw a few fake punches. I think they think it's constantly stiff prick bullshit. So, I don't know. Is what it is. Maybe one day you'll see me in Super Wrestlers. I don't think it's gonna happen. And that's fine. There's no animosity. I love Billy Wag. I love what they're doing. I think it's amazing what they have going on. And if there's any sour grapes, it's just that I'm not there being able to hang out with some of my friends that are there doing it. And the jealousy of like, fuck, I wish I could say I was there. But I'm not going to sit there and beg about, things because again, if you don't see something for me or if I don't fit in a certain spot, I'm kind of okay with that too. You know, what am I going to do? Sit there and be mad at someone because they don't see something in me? Whatever. It doesn't mean that I haven't known you since I was 16 years old and I don't consider you a friend. Right?
The power balladeer. If we put a mask on you,
I actually had a character and I didn't pitch it to Whack because I thought it'd kind of be like, dude, enough's enough. But I wanted to be a masked luchador because this would have to be a masked character. But I would be Eddie Baklava and I would be a lounge singing wrestler that would have a mic on the whole time as I was singing, like almost like that guy. Who was the guy, the Larry Cheese or something like that, or that would do like the Down with the Sickness, but as a lounge singer. It was that type of character of doing like a lounge singer to like number one hits as I'm doing my match or getting bumped, taking certain things or saying certain lyrics. But it would be a mic thing, and I'm like, I don't think Brad would go for it, and it wasn't that great anyways. But yeah, Eddie Baklava, and it would be a fully masked with like a pencil mustache type mask, the whole thing. So
Eddie Baklava. Oh, the magic you weave, right?
Oh, my friend, let me sing this for you. There we go.
You break out Celine Dion's Titanic.
You gotta get up and get down with the sickness, my friend. Just stupid shit like that. But I don't know if it would get over or not. Again, this is my own stupidity or 3 a.m. thoughts, and I'm at work, and I'm coming up with stupid shit. So.
There are some things that get over there that wouldn't get over any other place.
No,
but that's they got pharaohs and queens now. It's
right, but it also consider the character and the guy playing the character. Doug can get over coming out as a leather shoe.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, because Doug's right awesome. So it's a little different than me trying to be a luchador. It's just maybe it won't work. Or what's the Pearl Jam guy they have?
Stephen Flo.
Is he still over, or did he get a 60 minutes? You know what I mean? You just don't know. So
yeah, that was a magic viral moment that went crazy.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome and good for everyone involved. What I love the most about the Stephen Flo thing, if I can be honest with you, is the haters. Everyone that shit on him. And I'm like, you guys have no idea who this kid is. He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
100%.
100%. And he's not a dick. He's not cocky. He has no evil like bones in his body that I know of. So like, yeah, poo on the nice guy. Go ahead, shit on the nice guy because like he's literally one of the nicest dudes and the most, at least to me. And I know I'm in that spot of being in wrestling now for too long, where people just kind of like show me respect that they maybe think I deserve. I might not necessarily deserve, but I feel I do get respect enough from people that he's been nothing but kind and nice to me when it comes to pro wrestling. So I couldn't have been more ecstatic, slightly jealous, but I couldn't have been more ecstatic for him to have that moment of that whole situation. So
yeah, he's a good dude, and it was good that he got that shine. And there's no bad about it, but the people on the interwebs, they are a nasty.
They're pussies. They're assholes and they're jealous. It's all what it boils down.
All that it is. Yeah, it's a. I still think. I think you could. I think we got to get you there. I think that we got to work.
Find a gimmick because I got nothing. I wanted to do a Paul Stanley gimmick that was shut down because Wack doesn't like Kiss. There was again. Honestly, man, like I said, I would love to. If it doesn't happen,
Paint yourself green and be Baby Yoda, because Wack likes Star Wars. The Force is with you.
I could be Baby Broda.
That's it,
Bro.
Baby Broda.
Yeah, bro. Come on with
We got it right here. That's a fucking home run right there. And you can use the Force and throw people around with your head. Low impact.
Talk to Wack, man. That's all I can say.
I need you to put the big prosthetic ears on.
Whatever, dude.
And
Make it happen, Captain. Make it happen.
Broda.
Broda.
A galaxy.
Bro. Yeah. It'll be a Spicoli Yoda hybrid.
That is the name of this episode. The Birth of Broda.
What the fuck, man? Hey, if you're here and I'm here, wouldn't it be our class? Like,
wouldn't it be our ring, bro?
Broda.
That's so good. All right, Pauly.
All right. Well, on that, I don't think we can top that.
No, we're done, and we've got to
thank you so much for having me.
We're out. Thanks for watching the Power Hour. For Power Ballad Thomaselli, for the Urban Sensation Steve Red, I'm Steve. We will catch you next week, where our guest, I believe, is going to be Rory Shield. Thanks for watching, and
not as cool as me.
Soon.